All right, so we're back and ready to dive into a film that's been generating some serious buzz.
Yeah, Heretic.
Heretic from 2024. And this one falls squarely in the psychological thriller category.
It does.
Now, you know those movies that kind of lull you into a sense of security and then ram, they just yank the rug right out from under you.
Totally.
That's Heretic in the nutshell.
Oh, it is.
So we start with these two young, picture them, those classic bright-eyed, eager Mormon missionaries.
Mm-hmm.
They end up on the doorstep of this, well, he's described as a mysterious Englishman.
Right.
But here's the twist. He's played by...
Oh, this is the best part.
Hugh Grant.
Hugh Grant.
Yeah.
The Hugh Grant.
Yeah, exactly.
And that casting right there, that's genius.
It really is.
I mean, we're so used to seeing him as the charming, the bumbling, sometimes a little awkward.
Yeah, the rom-com king.
Romantic lead.
Yeah.
And here he is as Mr. Reed, and there's this quiet intensity to him.
That just sets you on edge from the very first moment he appears on screen.
You just know something's not right.
Right, and it makes you question everything.
Yeah.
Which is just perfect for a story about manipulation and doubt.
It's like they're playing with our expectations from the get-go.
Absolutely.
Which is, I think, one of the things that makes this film so effective.
And that feeling of unease just intensifies as these missionaries, Sister Barnes and Sister Paxton, step into Mr. Reed's home.
His house is creepy, too.
Oh, it's so creepy.
Yeah.
It's like this old, isolated manor.
There's like a gothic nightmare.
Full of these dark corners and, there's religious iconography everywhere.
Right.
But it's not comforting. It's oppressive.
It's like every crucifix and Madonna statue is judging you.
Yeah.
And just adding to that whole sense of like, something's not right here.
That oppressive tension.
Yeah.
You can cut it with a knife.
The setting's almost a character itself,
Oh, it totally is.
It's like it's trapping the missionaries, both physically and psychologically.
Yeah.
Like, you can't escape it.
And the way the director, uses these long, lingering shots of empty hallways and those unsettling details, like you'll get a close-up on a candle that's flickering just a little too much.
Or a painting where the eyes seem to follow you.
Oh, yeah.
It's like classic horror movie stuff, but it's done so well.
Yeah, and it all just feeds into that creeping dread.
Like you're right there with them,
Something so effective.
Experiencing that sense of like something bad is going to happen.
You keep waiting for the other shoe to drop.
Exactly.
And speaking of that creeping dread, the film really excels at building suspense through the dialogue.
Yeah, it's not all jump scares and gore.
No, not at all.
It's much more subtle than that.
There's this one scene, and it just stuck with me, where Mr. Reed is talking about his past.
Mm-hmm.
And he casually mentions that he collects these antique religious artifacts.
Oh, yeah.
And he drops this little line, almost as an afterthought, about how some of them are said to be cursed.
Chills. Literal chills.
Right. It's such a small detail.
Right.
But it's so unsettling.
But it makes you wonder why even mention it,
Because you just know. He's toying with them.
Yeah, he's playing mind games.
He's trying to plant these seeds of fear and doubt.
Yeah, and that's what makes psychological horror so effective, right?
Yeah.
It's all about what's going on in your head.
It gets under your skin.
Yeah, using suggestion and implication to create this atmosphere of fear.
And with Mr. Reed, he never outright threatens the missionaries.
No.
But his words, his tone, that look in his eyes.
It's all in the subtext.
It all suggests something darker lurking beneath the surface.
Yeah, and it makes you, as a viewer, start to question everyone's motives.
You start to wonder, are the missionaries really seeing what they think they're seeing?
Are they reliable narrators?
Exactly.
Is Mr. Reed actually dangerous, or are they imagining things?
It makes you question your own perception of reality.
Yeah, and it makes you think about, how often we blindly trust authority figures.
Especially in the context of religion, right?
Oh, absolutely.
Where you're taught to trust your leaders.
And not to quite.
The film really forces us to confront that.
To confront the idea that faith can be used as a tool for manipulation.
For control.
Yeah.
It's a tough question, and I'm curious, did you feel like the film explored that theme to your satisfaction?
I think there's always room for a deeper dive, but it does raise some really interesting questions about how we perceive truth, who we choose to believe.
Yeah.
And how easily we can be misled.
And I thought the way they used light and shadow was really interesting.
Oh, yeah, that's a good point.
The missionaries are often bathed in this stark, almost clinical light.
Yeah, it's cold, it's sterile.
While Mr. Reed is always kind of shrouded in shadows.
Like, you can never quite get a read on him. Like, his true intentions are always hidden.
Yeah, it's like a visual representation of the whole hidden agendas thing.
Exactly. The struggle to discern truth from deception.
It's so effective.
It's really smart filmmaking.
And, of course, all of this is anchored by Hugh Grant's performance.
Yeah, he's so good in this.
He is chillingly believable as this manipulative figure.
Yeah, you completely buy into it.
It just adds so much to the overall impact of the film.
It does.
Have you seen any of his other roles where he kind of taps into this darker side?
You know, what's funny is he was fantastic in Paddington 2.
Oh, really?
As the villain.
I wouldn't have thought of that one.
Right. He plays this washed-up actor who becomes the villain, and it's a totally different genre, obviously. Yeah. It's a family film.
Yeah.
But it just shows his range.
Yeah.
You know, his ability to play these characters with these hidden depths and darkness.
I'll have to check that out.
Yeah.
And if you're looking for other films that explore these themes of psychological manipulation, that kind of get under your skin the way Heretic does,
I'd recommend The Silence of the Lambs.
Oh, classic.
It's a masterpiece of the genre. And Gaslight is another good one.
Oh, yeah.
They both feature characters who use manipulation, gaslighting to control others, and it just leaves you questioning reality.
Yeah, that's
You don't know what's real and what's not.
So unnerving.
It is.
And Heretic really does that. It leaves you pondering its message long after the credits roll.
It does.
It's one of those films that makes you think about the nature of belief, the dangers of blind trust.
Yeah.
And just being aware of those subtle signs of manipulation.
Right, because they're everywhere.
Everywhere.
You just got to know what to look for.
It's a chilling reminder that things aren't always what they seem.
Absolutely.
And sometimes the most charming individuals can have the darkest secrets.
Yeah, the wolf in sheep's clothing, you know?
Exactly.
It's a classic trope for a reason.
It makes you think twice about who you open your door to.
It does.
Well, thanks for joining us on this deep dive into Heretic.
It's been a pleasure.
If you're intrigued by psychological thrillers that keep you guessing, this one's definitely worth adding to your watch list.
No, watch it alone.
And while you're at it, why not hit that subscribe button and give us a like?
I appreciate the support.
We'll see you next time for another deep dive into the world of film.
See you then.
Take care.
Bye.